Hi, and welcome to the Responsive Offline Deals video demo. In this specific video demo, I want to share with you how this video course is beneficial for you. It's a 7-part step-by-step video course, and we're going to walk you through how to get your foot in the door without having to sell. If you don't like to sell, raise your hand. And as you know, with a lot of offline marketing, you're taught, what kind of services you should sell. You should sell SEO, you should sell marketing, this and that. And I'm going to actually go against the grain, and I'm actually going to show you some different stuff that I found with my offline company. And I'm going to show you how where you don't have to sell. I do not like to sell. In fact, I would not say that I'm a salesperson at all. I like to teach, but I don't like to sell. And if you like to teach, then I'm going to show you how to teach and not have to sell. And so right now, you can feel free to read the sales letter here, but I want to talk about the videos themselves so you can get an idea of the videos. Video number 1 is, of course, the introduction, and we just introduced the system. And video number 2, we're going to talk about the objections and the complaints. Knowing the objections and the complaints beforehand is important because you need to know how to respond. And I know when I started and people would ask questions, this and that, I just didn't know how to respond. So knowing the objections and knowing how to respond is very important. Not necessarily to sell, but there are ways to redirect the conversation to where you're teaching them. And that's really how to close a deal. And video number 3, we're going to talk about starting with conversions and then going after traffic. And as you know, so many offline marketing people talk about, traffic, backlinks. What's the greatest backlink tactic that you can sell to offline marketers or offline businesses and this and that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not, attacking that or anything, but I will say that there is a market out there. There is an area where offline businesses lack. And if you know that area, then you can tap into it. And I'm going to talk about that specific area. And in video number 4, we're going to talk about where to find these potential responsive companies. These are companies that are attempting in some way to use online marketing in some sort of way. And your goal here, if you can find these types of companies who are looking for you, or they're attempting something but they're failing at it and they need your help to help them, then you can find these people. They're more receptive to you than somebody who is not advertising at all. So I show you how to find these types of companies. Video number 5 is getting your foot in the door. How do you get your foot in the door? Once you find these responsive companies, how do you gain their trust and how do you connect with them? I'll show you that in that video. Video number 6, we talk about outsourcing your materials. Once you understand and once you've experienced and once you've contacted a few companies in advance and you've gone through that process, then I would actually recommend that you outsource. And I show you how to do that in this specific video. And of course, last but not least, video number 7, I talk about how to avoid positioning yourself as a cheap service. I will say my biggest mistake, or one of many biggest mistakes, was positioning myself as a cheap service. And by doing so, you look like you're desperate, and most offline companies look at you and they would rather pay you $15 an hour because you look so desperate and this and that. So I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I made in the beginning. And I want to show you how to avoid positioning yourself as a desperate person and as a cheap service so that the perceived value of your service goes up. So with that said, grab this video series, read the sales letter, and I'll show you how to close deals without having to sell.